Now here it says translate the phrase into a mathematical expression and then evaluate it. All right. So it says 60 decreased by 6 times 6. Now I got to tell you, 60 decreased by 6 times 6. I'm not entirely sure. So the given expression in symbols is, okay, so now the way I'm reading this, I'm honestly not entirely sure if it decreased means multiply, times means x, right, times. So it's going to be either 60 decreased by 6 times 6. It's either like that, in which case we would solve the multiplication first, because remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, all right? And so we would multiply before we would do the subtraction. But if they wanted to, they might. I think that would be the answer I would start with. But if that was wrong, then I would try this one, which is 60 minus 6 times by 6. Because they might say, well, I want you to subtract first and then multiply, in which case you need to put parentheses to force the issue. Because if you don't do parentheses, you have to multiply first. But if you really want the subtraction first, well then put parentheses around it. Now, I'm going to go with this as being the correct answer because that just feels like the right answer. So let's do, now we're supposed to evaluate it. So you've got 60 minus 6 times 6. We're going to do the multiplication first. So you get 60 minus 36, and now we're going to subtract that, and we get 24. So I'm predicting that the answer is 24. More of the same. It says 25 squared, so that's a number right there, divided by 5 cubed. So the first thing we need to do is write our expression. And now I'm going to use the division. I'm going to write fraction for my division. So when it says 25 squared, that's going to be 25 squared. Divide, I'm going to put a fraction symbol, 5 cubed. There you go. Now I could have, if I wanted to, I could have put 25 squared divided by 5 cubed. But, you know, this is algebra class, so this is more classy, more sophisticated way to answer it. And now, of course, what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to evaluate that expression. So you've got 25 squared over 5 cubed. 25 squared is 625 over, and then 5 cubed is 125. And if you're not sure about that, it's 5 times 5 times 5, and that gives you 125. Now this means divide. So we're going to bust out our calculator because I don't exactly know the answer. 625 divided by 125, and that gives us 5. And that is our final answer for this problem. Translate into a mathematical expression and then evaluate it. All right, so we've got 40 divided by 10, comma, plus 1. I'm not sure why there's a comma. Oh, I know why the comma. Because they want us to do this part first, then they want us to add the 1. So 40 divided by 10, so that's going to be 40 divided by 10. And then this extra thing, plus 1, means we're going to put the plus 1 here. You do not want 40 divided by 10 plus 1. See the difference between the two? This one is wrong. So you want to, when you're typing using these symbols over here, you want to make sure the plus 1 is outside of the fraction. And now to evaluate it, 40 divided by 10 plus 1, well, oops, 40 divided by 10 plus 1. And so first thing you're going to do is the division. 40 divided by 10 is 4. And then we have plus 1, which is 5. So our answer is 5. And the last problem, it says, let's see, there we go. It says 100 times the quantity 2 plus 5. So 100 times, that's pretty straightforward, right? That's going to be 100 times, okay? Now, the phrase, the quantity plus 2 plus 5, that means in parentheses 2 plus 5. So this, sometimes instead of saying 100 times parentheses 2 plus 5, we would say 100 times the quantity 2 plus 5. And that's what that means there. And now they want us to evaluate that expression, so I'm going to get that guy out of my way. So remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. First we're going to do the parentheses, which is 7. We have no exponents. We have multiplication and division. 100 times 7 is 700. We have no addition or subtraction, so our answer is 7. And that wraps up this video.